Welcome back to the Mad Spideyverse. I'm Mad Spidey. Thank you once again for tuning in to my channel. So, it's going to be another one of my statue collection videos. Yes, if you've seen my videos before in this particular series, all my statues I've amassed over the years are all Bowen Designs. Bowen Designs was a very prevalent statue company back in the mid to late 90s to early 2000s. Unfortunately, no longer around. But I amass quite a collection. I pretty much just show one piece per video. I mainly have the mini busts and the full-size statues. They did three main ranges when they had the license for Marvel: mini bust, mini statue, and full-size statue. I didn't bother with the mini statues. I started it, but then went, there's no point, because in 9 times out of 10, the mini statue is exactly the same as the full-size statue. So yeah, I will obviously in the end screen have the playlist pinned in there, so you can go and check out any of the other videos that you wish to. But today is going to be not a strange one, but a bit of a nostalgic one, only because, and I knew I was going to come across this eventually. Most of the statues that I've done in this particular series, like I've done, what, 50, 60 episodes so far, all of them I basically remembered until now. So, as I've mentioned before, all these are all in storage. So I basically would just go to the storage, pull one out, and showcase it for the video. I saw this one and I went, I don't actually remember buying this one. So I think I'll probably stumble across that quite a few times as the journey goes, because there are quite a few for me to go through. But yeah, this one in particular, I was just like, I don't really remember getting this one. So yeah, it's not a character that you generally will see in figures or statues. Like, I know they've made some, but it's not a very common one. It's a very prevalent character, and most people who read comics or know about the X-Men would know who this character is. Even if you've just seen the cartoon series, you would know who it is. So, but yeah, just something, I think it's probably because it's not a, big sort of action type character. It's more of a cerebral character. You might be sort of getting what I'm sort of spitting out here. But yes, it is Professor X. So this is, and that's the other reason why I was sort of like, it's a bit of a slightly different one, because obviously most characters are in either an action pose, a museum pose, or straight up and down, but they're basically standing up, whereas this is pretty much all sitting down. Obviously that's the character, but yeah, not something that most kids will be like, oh, I want a Professor X because he looks really cool. Most people will be like, oh, I want a Wolverine, or I want a Spider-Man, or a Captain America, or a Hulk, or whatever it happens to be. So, but anyway, we'll get into it. Now, obviously, if you've seen any of these videos before, if you haven't, the Bowen Designs, you'll be able to tell by the trademark grey box with the sort of the montage and collage, whatever you'd like to call it, of sort of Marvel bits and pieces in there. Generally, if it has multiple versions, there'll be 2 different pictures on either side, but as far as I remember, this was only one version at the time. They will always give you the sculpt details, who actually sculpted the original prototype, and like physical sizes, and obviously your copyright trademark sort of stuff. Now the other thing of note, and I did notice when I went and grabbed this one out, is that usually there's the little label on the bottom to say what the edition number was, so how many was actually released worldwide. This does not have the sticker on the bottom. So it's generally either just above the barcode or just above the Bowen Designs licensed thing down the bottom there. So there's one of 2 reasons why that is. I'm hoping it's the better reason. The bad reason is the sticker's lost. It's missing, which can slightly devalue these. But hopefully it's not that reason. The other reason is, and the good reason is, it may be an artist proof. Now, generally artist proof, they can do anything from just like 1 or 2 to like maybe 10 or 20. They generally do a run of artist proof. Obviously, it's artist proof. Is the whole idea of it is to, obviously make a few, make sure they're all exactly like the prototype, how the way they wanted it, how it's painted the right way, there's no flaws and things like that, and then they roll out, obviously, the numbered edition themselves. Quite often, if the artist proofs are fine, they will release them total random, like you don't know when you're going to get one. You just order it. Obviously, when you order it from Bowen Designs, you'll order it and you may get one. Like if there's like 5,000 edition number, it's like like literally a 1 in 5,000 chance, or it might be a 10 in 5,000 chance. But you see the odds. But I did actually amass quite a few artist proof. Not that I was chasing them. I never chased the number or the edition. I never wanted a low number or a high number or an artist proof or a signed. It's just what happened to come to me in the way that I actually bought a lot of these. So, but anyway, I have waffled on well too long, as per normal. Let's open it up, show you what it looks like. And as I said, a bit of nostalgia for me because I don't remember actually buying this one. Always have a lot more trouble with the full size, obviously because of the physical size and trying to pull it out without making too much of a mess or damage anything. But I'll just wiggle him out. Alright, get the box out of the way for the time being. Now, another bit of an oddity. Generally, doesn't matter bust, statue, whichever, they will generally have on the foam either up or the Bowen Design symbol, so you know which way to open it. There is none on either side of this, so that's lay it down flat. Just be a little bit cautious while I'm actually opening it. I may or may not have opened it up the right way. Looks like it's fine anyway. Alright, so we do have the standard base, and yes, it is an artist proof, and it is signed as well, so that's double the rarity. So you can see the AP there. Now, the other weird thing is, generally the AP, they sometimes put a line, or they'll sometimes still put the edition number, so I can't actually remember what the edition is for this. I don't actually know. I know some of them will say on the box this was an edition of 2000 or 5000 or whichever, so I can't actually remember how many of these were actually made. If I had known it was that kind of thing, I probably would have done a little bit of research, but all you have to do is just Google Professor X Bowen Designs statue and you'd be able to find the edition number if you really wanted to know it. But there is the man himself, Randy Bowen, the owner, CEO, and starter and founder of the company itself. So there's his signature and an artist proof. So yeah, quite a rare piece. Not an overly detailed base, just a fairly plain black base. Does have you can see the X symbol there, and obviously there's the big. Now you normally would say foothole or foot peg, but because he's on a floating chair, there's going to be something a little bit different. So we do have this clear, I'd say it's probably made out of Perspex, or it'd have to be a solid plastic, because if it was just normal plastic or a normal polystone sort of thing, these things would snap under the weight. So obviously they do give you two different sizes as well. So, you want a higher or lower. But it feels like a fairly thick, sort of like a Lexan or a Perspex, or like a fairly dense type to be able to support the weight. So we'll just use the small one for the time being. So it literally just sits in like so. Now, okay, so it is all in one. The actual unit itself is all in one piece. So you don't have to worry about actually putting anything together, like slotting him into the chair. So you can see he's got his blanket on there, just like in the comics and just like in the X-Men cartoon series. So for a fairly basic design sort of chair, it has got a decent amount of sort of inner workings, robotics, mechanical type sort of details, especially sort of in here. But yeah, that's the face and the demeanor and everything like that is yeah, quite spot on. So you can see at the bottom, that's where the peg will go. Hopefully it'll just go on. There we go. And there it is. Professor X, full-size statue. You can get a little bit funky and spin him around. That's probably not a good thing to do, but so whether you may want to put maybe just a little bit of something, obviously more to like stop it spinning. If you do want to buy one, you do want to put one on display, probably a good idea, because obviously if there's any kind of movement in the house, you know, obviously it will move a little bit and it might tip over. But there it is in all its glory. So there we go. There is the Professor X full-size statue from Bowen Designs. Hope you enjoyed the video. I greatly appreciate you watching. If you can do all the usual YouTube stuff, hit the thumbs up on the way out. Leave a comment if you want to, but please, please hit that subscribe button down below there, the one that says subscribe. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. But hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and Spidey out.